back to the Sports Show. Time to get to the Southern Footy League, and as always, the Prez, Craig Warman, joins us. Craig, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
All right, mate, we're going to talk about last week's games, and it's going to be interesting how we talk about this week's, because there won't be any. Anyway, Christie's Beach, mate, 6th spot, up against Cove in 7. I just thought this would be a pretty close game, but in the end, Christie's got away from them.
Yeah, they did, but if you actually look at the scores, Cove had more scoring shots.
Yep.
Yes, they did.
It was their bad kicking that cost them in the end. And talking to Ray during the week, he suggested that Christie's just couldn't miss.
You know,
10 goals, 3 for the game. And
yeah, I don't know how many times we hear that over the course of the season. We had more scoring shots.
Yeah.
You go, I'm not disputing what you're saying, but my argument on that is it depends where your scoring shots come from, and it depends how much pressure you're under
Exactly.
as to whether you make them. So
Yeah, exactly.
I can't subscribe to we're really good this week and we're really bad next week. I think it depends on a couple of other factors. Happy Valley, mate, 34-point winners over Noarlunga, 3-4.
very, very impressed with, because that was our tribe broadcast game.
You've talked about Happy Valley.
And quite achievers, and they've still got probably 4 or 5 lads to come back from SASS who have already qualified, coupled with niggling injuries. They've been very, very impressive last week against Noarlunga.
He had a couple of blowouts, of big blowouts. Morphy's knocking off Port Noarlunga by 130, and then you got Ranella beating Aldinga by 130. They're a couple of massive losses.
And Porties and Noarlunga are struggling, as we know. But good to see Ranella back in a little bit of form. Their form had been a little bit in a couple of close games. That will build their percentage and actually probably lock away 2nd spot on the table for them.
Yeah.
They've got a big one coming up in a couple of weeks' time against Happy Valley, which will be very interesting, as well as Flaggies as well. Point. So they can't afford to drop too many, because Happy Valley, with that win, cements them in 3rd spot. The shaky ones at the moment are Noarlunga, who are struggling.
Any reason?
They've also been hit by injury, but there's just not that continuity that we tend to expect from the Chew boys.
Yeah.
They're getting a little bit older, legs are a little bit wearier, and there's just not. They just need that spark to get them going. But I just don't know where they're going to get it from at the moment.
No games this week because of the lockdown, obviously. The boys at Flagstaff Hill would be breathing a sigh of relief because of that, I would think.
They're playing Cove if the game went ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Well, Cove are there now, kicking. They're getting a head start, mate.
Getting a head start.
Ray's smarter than you think. He's got the team down there kicking goals now. And they'll count for the next game.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
But that's sad, mate. But hey,
oh, look, it is.
Not what you can do.
It is what it is. We get the news a few days ago that we're going to be in a 7-day lockdown. We just got to ride with it. We informed the clubs early, so what we look to do, we'll give everyone a bye this particular weekend, and drag round 14 and play it at the end of the season. We've got a little bit of a window where we can actually extend it out for a season, not just take the game away, because there's sponsors' days, etc. And you can't just slot it back in somewhere. You need to either take it away and lose it, or take it away and put it at the end of the season and extend your season by 1. Because in rounds 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, clubs have already pre-booked reunions, social events, etc. around those particular home games and whatever. So to be fair to everybody, I think that's the easiest way around it.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because the AFL, obviously with a fair wad of money compared to the Southern Footy League, mate, they can shift and they're mobile, they can move things. For you guys, is there a cut-off point? If COVID stuck for a month, would that pretty much finish the season? Because it's not like you can go, we'll play some games midweek, we'll load up here. There's really not a formula where you can get around at a certain point. There's just too many games to catch up, isn't there?
Oh, there is, but in saying that, the contingency would be that if it goes for a month, we would just lose those games.
Yeah.
The top 5 is already set. We'd still be able to play a final series and get it done that way.
Yeah.
So you know when it's coming. So say last night, hypothetically, we hear we're at level 4. Not that anyone was sure what level 4 really was, but we're at level 4, and you go, okay, well, we're making some adjustments here if this happens. At what point are you guys already ahead of the curve. Like you hear the first warning bell, you go, right, we've got plans A, B and C here that happen. And then D comes and you go, well, we can't even think about D.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look, and you have to be on the ball all the time, the way this thing is evolving. And what we had was a board meeting. We got all the clubs in. Hey, if this happens, this is the rules. You've been through it last year. There's not a lot, no training, but hopefully we don't go into a full lockdown. We've now stepped over that. We are in a lockdown. So clubs have been made fully aware prior to us going into a lockdown that, hey, if it stays like this, this is the scenario. If it stays and we do have to go to a lockdown, this is what we're looking at, and these are our preferred options. And they've been really, really, really good, the clubs.
I'm just thinking, mate, if I'm coaching Ranella at the moment, I'm thinking, or one of the teams, Flagstaff is so dominant we can't beat them. What's the way around it? Let's get a couple of players out to training and infect the whole team. So they'll have to be in lockdown for 14 days.
You're an evil man.
But in 7 days, it looks like, hopefully, Steve Marston and the people who've done an unbelievable job in South Australia.
Oh, exactly.
Hopefully we get it all locked down and then it's business as
usual.
Yeah. So this weekend's games will be moved to the last round.
Yes.
And then it'll just continue to play the round as is.
Yep.
Be normal.
Right. Looks like the Southern Footy League are well organised. I think they could use you in a couple of other spots, mate. Hey, stay with us. Still plenty to come on the show.